Before I get into this message, I want to say this as honestly as I possibly can. If you are having a hard time with releasing, a hard time with releasing something that God has been trying to pull you away from, guess what? My ebook, Letting Go When God Says So, is going to change the way that you move through this season. I created it for people who feel super stuck, who feel confused, who feel emotionally tied to someone or something that God has been trying to remove. And what it does is it gives clarity. It gives peace. And it gives you the exact steps to actually get your strength back. And I know it. I know somebody listening right now needs that transformation. Now, this is going to be one of the most important messages that I will ever touch on, and you need this. Why? Because I wish somebody told me this. It's okay. You made a mistake. That is okay. No, actually, not just even a mistake. Some of you made a lot of bad, poor decisions, and that's okay, including me. I beat myself up year after year for some of the things that I've done. I felt crippled by some of the choices that I made that affected my life and other people's lives. There were seasons where I literally sat there thinking, what is even the point of moving on with life? Why? Because I was sitting in a mess that I created. And the pain wasn't just from what I did. It was from what people said about me after I did it. The labels, right? The rumors, the disappointments in people's eyes. I can see it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And if I'm being super honest, some of those words, maybe I needed them. Maybe I needed to be shaken. Maybe I needed to see the damage. But here's the part that nobody told me right here. Even if you needed the wake-up call, you don't deserve a lifetime sentence of self-hate. You are not your mistakes. I need you to say that again in your mind. You are not your mistakes, which means you can move forward. You can still build a life with purpose, with peace. You can still build a life with joy, despite what you've done and who you used to be. And today, I want to walk you through exactly how to do that. I'm not going to give you, pretty Instagram captions. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give you 3 real, but sometimes uncomfortable, but powerful steps to help stop torturing yourself. I don't need you torturing yourself from the past. I want you to actually process what happened and move forward in a way where your mistakes become material. Not for shame, no, but for growth. Here it is, step 1. Stop lying about what happened, and you have to own it like an adult. A lot of people never heal from their mistakes because they keep trying to repaint them. You can't fix what you keep rebranding. You keep calling it a misunderstanding, bad timing. I was just young. They took it the wrong way. When deep down, no, I crossed the line. I broke trust. I betrayed myself. I hurt them. See, that's the first war right there. The war between the story that you tell and the truth that you avoid, right there. And as long as you are protecting your image more than you're actually protecting your soul, I promise you, you will stay stuck. So the first step to moving forward is very simple, but heavy. It is brutally honest, no filters, no edits, no PR, just the truth. And I want you to actually say it to yourself. I did this. I said that. I hurt them in this way. I hurt myself in this way. It wasn't just an accident. I chose it. Not so you can just, drown in the guilt, but so you can finally stop running from reality. Because the more that you run, the more the mistake actually chases you. That's the truth. And when you turn and you actually face it, you take your power back. And here's a tactical way to do this. Watch this. I need you to grab a notebook and title a page, "What actually happened?" Not what I wish happened. No. Not what would make me look better. No. Just the raw version. Write down the situation like you're some type of reporter. Who did what? When it happened? How it affected you? How it affected others? Write it in detail. I knew better, but I did it anyway because, and then finish the sentence with honesty. Right there, finish it with honesty. I wanted attention. I didn't want to be alone. I wanted to feel powerful. I wanted validation. I was scared. This is not about shaming yourself. This is about understanding yourself. Because if you don't understand why you did it, you'll repeat it in a different way. I promise you. Then after you write it out, I want you to separate your identity from that action. On the other side of the page, I want you to write what I did. And on the other side of that, write who I am becoming, right? What I did might be ugly, it might be selfish, it might be reckless, but who I am becoming is not locked to that moment. Maybe, what I did is I lied to someone who trusted me, but who I am becoming can be a person who tells the truth even when it costs me. That separation is so crucial. Why? Because as long as you fuse your identity with your worst moment, you'll sabotage every good thing that tries to enter your life. Right there. You'll reject love because I'm a terrible person. You'll reject opportunities because, I always mess things up. You'll reject forgiveness because I don't deserve it. You become judge, jury, and executioner over your own life. And I'm telling you right now, you are not qualified to give yourself a life sentence like that. You aren't. You don't see the whole story yet. You don't know who you're still capable of becoming. And another tactic, talk it out with a safe person, not a gossip, not somebody who secretly enjoys seeing you down. No. Not somebody who's going to, weaponize what you share. No, don't talk to them. One safe person who's honest and rooted. Tell them, I need to say this out loud. I did this. I'm not proud of it. I want to understand it and grow from it. Saying it out loud breaks the power of secrecy. Shame lives in the dark. The moment you pull it into the light, its grip starts to weaken. And when you hear someone tell you, yeah, that was wrong, but that's not who you are, guess what? It starts to rewire the way you see yourself. Step 2, turn your mistake into a blueprint so you never repeat it. Once you've owned it, the next step is to study it. Most people either obsess over their mistake emotionally or they avoid it completely. You know what I'm saying? Very few people sit down and analyze it logically, like truly. That's why they keep stumbling into the same mess with a different name. You know what I'm saying? If you want to actually move forward, your mistake has to become a teacher, not a tattoo on your forehead, right? It's not a tattoo on your forehead. A teacher. I want you to look at your mistake like an engineer looks at a building that collapsed. Not just, oh my God, this is awful, but why did this fail? Where was the structure weak? What warning signs did we ignore? What needs to change so this never actually happens again? And here's a tactic right here. Do a mistake autopsy. On a fresh page, watch this, on a fresh page, write these prompts and actually answer them. What was I feeling and thinking in the week leading up to this? You never thought about it like that. Who was I around consistently during that time? What did I ignore? What red flags? What truth? What inner voice? Right? What did I tell myself to justify it? What need was I trying to meet in the wrong way? Was it love, power, attention, escape, comfort, belonging, whatever? Patterns will appear. And once they do, you design a counter pattern. I need you to pause 48 hours before a decision, right? Avoid environments that actually just feed your downfall. Call an accountability partner before you self-sabotage. Let's move on to step 3. Watch this one. This one's very important. You have to rebuild trust through action, not apologies. You don't prove change by just announcing it. You prove it by actually becoming it. It starts with rebuilding trust with yourself by keeping the small promises, right? Drink the water. Take the walk. Tell the truth once a day, even if it's hard. You got to stack those wins daily. And then you got to let your nervous system build evidence that you're different. Rebuild trust with others through ownership without excuses, patience without entitlement, right? Consistency without forcing reconciliation. You build trust by creating a future resume and taking one aligned action every day. Shame is not responsibility. Shame is avoidance. The real work is changing your patterns. It's changing your habits, your boundaries, your lifestyle, your honesty. So hear me clearly. It's okay that you made mistakes. It's okay that you made poor decisions. It's okay that the old you didn't know how to handle your pain. But now you know better. And knowing better means building better. You are not your worst moment, my friend. I promise you that. You are the person who rises after it, who learns from it, who refuses to repeat it. And if you commit to honesty, if you commit to analysis and new action, your mistakes will become the very testimony that helps somebody else climb out of the same darkness that you're rising from right now. It did for me. It was so hard though. I promise you, it's so hard to forget the mistakes. Matter of fact, you will never forget the mistakes. You will never forget the mistakes. I promise you that. But you don't have to wear that thing on your forehead like a tattoo. You don't have to make it your identity. You can move past it and still have an amazing life. I promise you. My life changed when I hopped out of that slump and just moved past it and said, I only have one life. I have a little bit of time here and I'm going to make the best of it. That's when my life changed. And you can do it too. And I know you can. If you are having a hard time with letting go, like I said, you can check out the ebook, Letting Go When God Says So. Until next time, I'm yapping. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.